And that to me shows real effort from the filmmakers' part, who are trying to make these based on children's books movies enjoyable for everyone. And I honestly do not think the Welcome back, Netflix fans. Enola Holmes 2 hits Netflix tomorrow, taking us on a brand new adventure with the world's greatest detective's younger sister. But while it brings back the cast and the crew, does it bring back the ingenuity and personality that made the original such an unexpectedly pleasant surprise? That's what we're discussing in this video today, as Enola is now a detective for hire like her infamous older brother. And while on her first case, searching for a missing girl, the sparks of a dangerous conspiracy ignite a mystery that will require the help of friends and Sherlock himself to unravel. And this is a very easy movie to summarize, because for better or worse, Enola Holmes 2 is more of the same. The quirky personality, the stylistic eccentricities, the light-hearted, fourth-wall-breaking comedic tone are all brought back into the second outing. So if you enjoyed all those elements in the first one, you're going to have a blast with this brand new adventure that does feel new. It doesn't feel like a rinse and repeat of the first one. In many ways, it's this sort of getting the band back together sort of adventure, where everyone is at this new stage of life and they have to find their way back into each other's proverbial arms, while having a better sense of unpredictability than the first film, as the hero's challenge this time feels more complex, with a ton more pieces to this puzzle that naturally intertwines the narratives of Enola and Sherlock, who is dealing with his own issues in this film, but feels far more integral to the plot as it naturally blossoms their relationship and creates a real sense of endearment between brother and sister that is just really enjoyable to watch, immensely helped by the charm of the stars in Millie Bobby Brown and Henry Cavill, who just fit these versions of the characters to T. Cavill just has that sort of Sherlock pomposity, but the real humility underneath that he can bring out just like that. While Millie Bobby Brown continues to show her range from Stranger Things to this, she is just so infectiously charming, and the two together are one extremely fun and funny duo. The thing that has always worked best for me in these films is the sardonic flair of a Fleabag meeting the stylized energy of a Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes. And the results are admirably enjoyable. You have one of the driving forces behind Fleabag, Harry Bradbeer, at the helm here, and the result shows. The dialogue is snappy, the interactions are immensely witty, the fourth wall breaks are so much smarter than what they first appear to be. There are so many moments where I felt like, oh, that joke didn't land. But then something was added to it that really made it work for me. And that to me shows real effort from the filmmakers' part, who are trying to make these based on children's books movies enjoyable for everyone. And I honestly do not think the editing in these films gets the credit it deserves, because it is so crucial to the tone, to the jokes landing. The timing is very precise, the way it brings all the story threads together, again in a very Sherlock sort of way that is trying to poke fun and wink at the camera, because it's very Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes in that way. But it's doing its own thing. It's satirizing it. It's satirizing all the cliches that come with detective novels while celebrating the genre. It's so much fun to just see these characters going on adventure and having them figure these things out along the way. However, it is not without faults. The film injects this real life narrative into it, and I just think the tones are a little bit all over the place when it dives a little bit into that more. When that becomes so crucial to the resolution of the film, it's very surface level compared to everything else the film is doing. And it does overstay its welcome. The film runs at 130 minutes, and you can clearly cut some stuff out of this film that does not feel integral whatsoever. There are just certain story threads that, while meeting a satisfying conclusion, the script contrives its way into making certain elements feel and appear far more complicated than they actually are. And so the runtime gets extended, and a ton of pieces don't feel crucial or necessary to the story playing out the way it needs to be. It just feels like they created red herrings for the sake of red herrings to have this extended runtime, and that costs the movie somewhat. That gets in the way of the enjoyment, of that kinetic sense and pace that the film constantly goes, until it doesn't. And while I really admire the energized feel to Enola's adventure that feels very much like a young Indiana Jones, this film actually has a lot of action, which should really work for me, but the action really isn't well shot at all. You can tell there was really good stunt work in these sequences. You can tell the choreography was there for the actors with great stunt doubles there, but the way the camera just cuts around these moments, this is one example where the editing did not serve the movie whatsoever, unfortunately, and actually served as a detriment to the story. But simply put, this is a breezy, light-hearted romp that plays to the genre's strengths while allowing the infectiously charming and charismatic cast to just have a blast. And it is clear that everyone here is having a blast. So before I dive into my final thoughts on Enola Holmes 2, I need you to start the conversation about it in the comments below. Which one do you prefer, this one or the original? And have you ever read the books? Anything and everything down there. And if you're enjoying this review, there's many more like it right up here. I reviewed a ton of movies this year. I went to 2 festivals. So if you're enjoying this video, there's more reviews for you to enjoy right up here. Or if you just love movies and TV, this is the place to be. So consider clicking that subscribe button and you won't miss any future conversation on your favorite movies and TV. While it doesn't overcome the flaws of its predecessor and even exhibits new ones of its own, Enola Holmes 2 is a getting the gang back together story, and it simply works, offering an energized adventure with intrigue, kinetic pace, and an infectiously charming cast. And I'm giving Enola Holmes 2 a B-. Thanks so much for watching, Netflix fans. I look forward to starting the conversation with you in the comments below, and there are many more reviews to come, so I will see you very soon. Big thanks to my channel members for always supporting the channel, and until the next one, love each other and love the movies.